Video game inspiration is great. It's wonderful to be inspired by someone's work, but sometimes people like to try and get away with blind robbery, or in this case, blatant robbery, by taking others' game idea. In today's video, we're counting down the top 5 games that copied Fortnite and PUBG. Welcome back to Top 5 Gaming, everyone, where today, we're going to be showing you guys some pretty obvious knockoffs, some shams, some knockers. Okay, that last one was not the correct terminology, but it could be. Only you have the power to fight for free thought. Kanye West, where you at? Well, in any case, buckle up, boys. Get your pizza rolls ready. Click the subscribe button to find a loot llama in your next game of Fortnite. Let's get into the video. Number 5, Rules of Survival. If you somehow haven't heard of Rules of Survival yet, then I don't know where you've been, because when it first released onto mobile, people were talking about it nonstop. Not because the mobile version was good or anything, but because NetEase, the Chinese company that developed the game, and Bluehole were locked into a fierce battle with the PUBG company, saying that NetEase had copied assets and gameplay straight from their own game. It's no doubt that the two are similar to one another, which is probably why the legal battle is still going on. That was all about the mobile version, though, because the PC edition of the game has just released, and it already has a pretty sizable following on YouTube. The website for the game claims that Rules of Survival is a 120-man battle to the finish, making the matches bigger in player count than both Fortnite and PUBG, which only have 100-player games. From the AN-94 to AUG, Assault Rifle, P90 SMG, and AWM Sniper, there are 29 usable weapons in the game, most of which are different from PUBG, and most are like something straight out of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2. I mean, the game even has the ACR. The loot is also completely different in the game, featuring much more out there items that are more comparable to Fortnite than PUBG, like the chicken head and bunny girl outfits. If you didn't know that it was a different game, you could probably mistake Rules of Survival for PUBG pretty easily, especially the mobile versions, as they look and play super similarly, but the game definitely looks to be taking a more zany Fortnite approach to its cosmetics, and it's already getting really popular with fans. Who knows how this game will turn out in the long run, though? A simple ripoff or a game that becomes something pretty unique and different to its source material. Number 4, Last Day Battleground, Survival Fortnite V2. Last Day Battleground Survival Fortnite V2 is a pretty big mouthful to say, and it's also pretty obviously trying to write off the success of both PUBG and Fortnite. I mean, it has both the words Battleground and Fortnite in the game, and while neither of those are exactly the names of Battlegrounds or Fortnite, it's pretty damn close and very obvious that they're trying to trick people into downloading this game. Last Day, which is all I'm going to call it from here on out, that name is way too long, is a standard mobile game that looks as if it probably could have been released back in like 2011. The graphics are terrible, the sounds are flat and have no bass to them, and oh, the game isn't even a battle royale game. Literally, all they stole from Fortnite and PUBG was part of their name. So what is Last Day all about if you're not trying to eliminate 99 other opponents? Well, according to the description of the game, Last Day is a game where you have to be ready to defeat enemies with your amazing weapon. You have to save the hostage life and make sure about your survival in this shooting mission. Wow, that's some pretty bad grammar in the Play Store description. Basically, it's a search and rescue game. You enter a level, shoot a bunch of bad guys, and then rescue the hostage from the bad guys. Then the mission is over. The game apparently features an amazing 3D shooting environment, addictive missions to play, thrilling sounds and tracks, and different levels to play on. Wow. What this really means is that the game is pretty bad, and it actually has nothing to do with Battlegrounds or Fortnite whatsoever. It really just tried to succeed off of their names. Number 3, Fortcraft. When it released in its beta, Fortcraft actually had quite a few people pretty excited. Once again, this is another NetEase game, the same guys that made Rules of Survival from earlier. Only instead of ripping off PUBG, this game unashamedly rips off Fortnite Battle Royale 100%. Much like Fortnite, you drop onto an island, though this time out of a battle cab instead of a battle bus, and run around collecting materials and guns to build and kill. Pretty much everything about the building system is identical to Fortnite as well, from the mining of the trees and building to the placing of walls and ramp. But the similarities don't really end there. The graphic style is pretty much the exact same, both games featuring that colorful and cartoony art that Fortnite has now become so popular for. The pickups look seriously similar too, with some weapons like the scoped AR looking exactly the same. Basically, if you've played Fortnite once in your life ever, then this game will feel pretty familiar to you. But the thing is, this game isn't just some standard copy. The game actually controls really well, and it runs pretty good on older phones, which is something Fortnite Mobile can't even do. Not only that, but when it was in the beta run, the game was available on both Android and iPhone, and Fortnite was only available on iPhone. As of right now, the game has been removed from the Play Store, but whether that's because of bullying from Epic Games or because the beta period ran out, we don't really know. Either way, when Fortnite Battle Royale eventually releases to Android and some older phone models, Fortcraft is going to be dead in the water. Number 2, Pixel's Unknown Battleground. You ever wanted to play a game which is basically a strange combination of PUBG and Minecraft? Well, then you need to check out a game called Pixels Unknown Battleground, because it's basically exactly that. Pixels takes away pretty much everything you know from the graphical style of PUBG and its clones, and instead reverts to a basic voxel blocky Minecraft-inspired design. Well, at least it does for the player models. Everything else is basically really simplistic graphics, the sort of stuff that you'd expect from an early PS2 game or a late PS1 game. Gameplay-wise, Pixels is pretty much identical to every other PUBG clone on the market. You drop down into the map out of a helicopter, you pick up a bunch of weapons, you try to be the last man standing, you get the point. The only real difference is that the map is tiny compared to the other PUBG clones on the market, and you only get to play against 23 other people. That's not even a quarter of the number that PUBG and Fortnite allow on their map. This means that games are usually much faster, but also somewhat less tense, because there's sort of a less chance of you randomly coming across someone. Well, that, and how can a game that looks like it should be on a PS2 be a tense battle royale anyway? Number 1, Ugandan Knuckles Battle Royale. I think this one is my favorite. So here we are, right at the bottom of the pile. What's at the bottom of the pile when it comes to PUBG and Fortnite clones, you ask? Oh, well, that's easy. It's Ugandan Knuckles Battle Royale. Yep, this is actually a thing, as the description on Google Play entails. Ugandan Knuckles Battle Royale is an unoriginal Ugandan action game where you have to find the way to win. You fight against other Knuckles, look for items and gear to stay alive and survive until the end. And at some point in time, I'd imagine that you're going to try and find the queen. But what we're left with here is that a game that, once again, isn't even an actual battle royale game. It just stole the name to try and get some clicks. I guess they did the same thing with the Ugandan Knuckles. I mean, basically what you have is a bunch of blue Knuckles and a bunch of red Knuckles fighting against each other until one of all of them is dead. There are a bunch of other game modes too, including a Call of Duty style infection game mode. The game looks incredibly bad in terms of graphics and basically just a cash grab of memes and popular game names. But you guys get the point. This has been our list of the top 5 games that copied Fortnite Battle Royale. Don't copy games exactly. Well, at least don't copy my homework exactly, guys. You got to change it up a bit. Remember that. I taught you something good. Life lessons. Hashtag it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Drop a like down below if you enjoyed this content. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And make sure to subscribe right now, or you're going to get caught for plagiarism the next time you borrow, in quotes, your friend's homework. Keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.